Hello, hello, and welcome to the Gers TV. My name's Si Leslie.
And my name is Gordon Bond.
It's not been great, guys. It's not been the best of our weeks for us after last night's result, but it is what it is, and we'll just got a show for you. We were meant to put it on last night, but the game was live, so tonight and next week will be Wednesday night shows. Where do we start with it?
Perhaps just might be better doing the show last night rather than watching that.
Quite possibly. I think the first thing you want to comment on is at the weekend. First of all, the game at the weekend. We'll quickly go through that. The Livingston game. Signs then, Gordon. There was warning signs at that point. I think that leaking an early goal was quite worrying. My biggest concern with last night and the Livingston game is we've had 6 months, or no 6 months, sorry, we've had 6 weeks to get our defence sorted, our back line organised, and we've had a full pre-season. Our defence don't look any better, do they? That's my worry.
No, it's important to remember that it is just the first opening couple of games of the season. However, there's not been many positive signs the first couple of games of the season. You're right about Livy. First half we were absolute, for want of a better expression, an absolute joke in the first half for large parts of it. The Livingston forward bullied our back line, got everyone in booked as well.
Yeah.
And but fair play, the second half we did come out and we played like the Rangers of last season. Unfortunately, the game last night was just, I don't even know where to start.
We'll try and analyse it. If anybody's got any comments, obviously we'll read your comments out as well. We'll take calls. I'll start off with some of the things that worry me with last night's performance. First of all, I think if you're going to give people credit, you need to criticise when they get it wrong. Yep. And I genuinely believe the manager or the management team got the setup wrong. The 3 at the back system, some are calling it 5 at the back, it depends how you look at it, but it's three main centre halves. Didn't work, gave them far too much respect with it. From that, our midfield was weaker, and with Ryan Jack, who I think was unfit, because Ryan Jack was unfit, what's happened there is they've dominated the midfield and they've capitalised on that. Up front, you've got three new players, a couple of young boys who have never played European football with Rangers before, and the 3 of them are playing a big tie like that. It's a recipe for disaster. But Ryan Kent injured, fair enough, but you're looking at the weekend when there's players that are tried and tested with the Rangers team that have got us to a European final. Sakala, for an example, why was he not playing? Why was he not tried out the weekend? And why did he not come on as a sub? I don't know. Lundstrom playing far too deep, I think. I really think the management got it wrong more than anything.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with any of that. I think that we were far too timid in our setup. We played not to lose the game. We set up not to lose the game, which, we're Rangers. We got to a European final just a couple of months ago. We are better than them, but yet, as you say, we gave them far too much respect. We invited their players to come on at us, and then there was no fluency in the final third at all. You could tell it was 3 new players. I don't think their experience is an issue because they play for big clubs, and Kolak's played at Ibrox in a Champions League qualifier before.
And scored against us, yeah.
And scored. So they had got the experience, but you could tell that they were ring rusty. They were new players, and it will take them a few weeks to get used to each other. But unfortunately, now what's happened, we don't have a few weeks to let them gel.
No, because make no mistake about it. Next Tuesday, it's an absolute massive night for Rangers. There's already talk about bringing Morelos back early. I don't like that kind of talk. If he's no fit, he shouldn't be playing. We need to make sure he gets back to full fitness. Kolak is a poacher. To me, he's not getting enough supply. You should be getting balls into him. I know they're saying that. See, the thing is, you don't realise how much you miss Morelos and Kent until they're not in the team. With Morelos in a game like that, he would have been coming into the midfield and winning the ball. Kolak's not that type of player. Kolak's a poacher. The best ball that was given to the team, given in the whole game, was the ball that in the second half, Kolak actually put in the box, and there was nobody there because the person that would have been there would have been Kolak. So that was the kind of night it was. So I definitely think the setup was wrong. But that said, I mean, at the weekend there, you're looking at Arfield comes on and wins the game for Rangers. What's his reward? Dropped and doesn't get back into the team.
And I don't know how Kolak managed to stay on the book, to stay on the pitch for so long, because last night, because Sakala should have come on for the last 10-15 minutes or so when we were needing that pace up front. But it was a terrible display from start to finish, and we never. In fact, it probably says to so much that we were lucky not to get beat 3 or 4-0.
I'm not 100% because Tav got kicked the ball off the line right on the last minute of the game. Rangers should have been going to high press. They should have been attacking them. They should have given them respect, aye, but they should have been going for a result. Rangers should have got a win. In the midfield, I would have played probably. Again, a few people are saying to me, it comes up as Facebook user because it's from one of the groups, no rather than direct from the chat. So I don't know who it is, but I think it's a guy I know. It's saying about when I'm mentioning Jack being fit. I don't know if Jackie Love will be fit again. That's what I'm trying to say there. He seems to be regularly unfit now. I would have had Davis in, Stephen Davis in last night. There's two Davises in the squad, obviously. I would have had Stephen Davis in the squad last night, and the quicker we can get Lowry fit and get into the team, definitely. And as well as that, Lundstrom, I wouldn't have him so far in defence. I just think our whole midfield seemed weak. Kamara was lost. They seemed to never go. My biggest concern is the centre half. So I don't see any improvement with Golson. Seems to be leaking silly passes on constantly. The goalkeeper, was it a mistake? He probably was, but it shouldn't have came down to the goalkeeper. Any comments came in?
So that's what we'll do. So we'll just have a wee look through some of these comments. Okay. So hi to Marion Donna and Graham Welsh, Mark as well. Everyone's saying hello, so everyone. It's good to see you again. So a couple of so obviously sounds is okay. So apologies for last week. It was out with our control. There was problems. Yes. So a couple of comments about last night. So Stephen McCormick, this is something that you and I discussed pre-show. Gio, you're right. He never left his seat last night. I didn't see him on his feet at all. And sometimes, obviously, you don't want your manager ranting and raving for the whole 90 minutes. But I think that he has to be more. There was passion there last season European games. There was no passion. And that started with the manager last night as well. Roddy Fraser kind of picking up on that with no leaders on the pitch.
None at all.
Hello from North Carolina.
Gary,
hello.
How you doing, mate?
How you doing, Gary? Mark Dunnett, Scott Arfield. That's what we were saying a wee second ago. Yeah, you're right. We couldn't agree more. Well, if he comes on and changed the game against Livingston for the last half hour or so, scored the goal, got us back in the game, literally came on, picked the game with a scruff of the neck. And helped us get the win, so we should have been rewarded for that. But
you've got to play for your place. In football, that was always the deal. You play for your place.
Ian's making the point. Ian Campbell, 3 new players up front, yes, and they have to gel quickly.
Very quickly, aye.
Not enough to take crosses, plus losing the ball too easily.
Crosses don't be the first man most of the time.
Yep. If you go back to the Livingston game as well, especially first half, none of our crosses get past the first man. I made a mental note of them, but every time they get a free kick or a corner, it was good delivery into the box. Aye,
and that's the difference. If you put a good delivery into your box, your defence they'll panic. Somebody's mentioning Borna Barisic as well. Yeah. Brilliant free kick for him. Other than that, he's a poor defender at times. I think Ridvan will come in and take that place. He'll take the jersey. The young boy Ridvan came on. With about 20 minutes to go, I thought he did a decent game. But again, it's late to be bringing players on. We changed it too late. A couple of things I'll say about the manager. Very, very little animation from him, which concerned me. Very late to change the game. I think after half an hour, everybody was watching the game realised that Rangers were playing the wrong formation, including them, because their team, basically, they changed their tactics and went for us, and they done the right thing. Another thing I don't want to say this, I hate saying it, and people say you can't look in the past, but there's no way a Steven Gerrard team in Europe would have sat back in defence in a game like that. There's no way. I know I hate saying it, we're talking about the past, but Gerrard when he set his team up like that. But why is Giovanni Van Bronckhorst defending so deeply the whole game?
One thing I have noticed about Gio's management career is that he doesn't have the best of records away from home. Now don't get me wrong, he's not managed clubs that maybe expect to win every away game like Rangers do in the Scottish League. But there was a run last season that more or less cost us. We went 4 away games without picking up a win, and we can't afford that this season. So we need to go out and assert ourselves. They should have been giving us the respect, not the way about last night.
Unfortunately, that's what's happened though.
Roddy Fraser said no urgency last night.
Honestly, Roddy, I agree with you. Roddy, it was as if Rangers were playing a pre-season friendly at times.
Yep. Davis should be the first name in the team sheet and the captain.
Yeah. Lowry's back next week, I believe. Hopefully, anyway. We need to start using this young lad and get him in the team quick.
Last night game, so Graham Welsh, last night's game Rangers wasn't strong enough. We weren't first goal. That's 2 games in a row, first goal. It wasn't a penalty, Graham. You're absolutely right. I don't know how you could give that after watching VAR. I'm not sure how you can give that as a penalty after watching VAR.
The only thing is, I don't really think we should spend too much time on the show talking about the penalty, because we shouldn't be covering up the fact that Rangers were
Woeful.
severely
Yeah.
under. We played under strength. We're a far better team than that, and I definitely think you've got to question the management on it.
Yep, you have to give them praise when they're due praise, but we have to be able to criticise as well. We're not going to have a knee-jerk reaction and say sack you and that crazy like that. However, we need to get past this. We need to get past this tie.
Yeah.
If there's anybody out there can check this, actually, I'm not sure Rangers have actually came back from a 2-0 first leg defeat in
I
Europe.
believe they've never done it before. If they've ever going to do it, this is the one to do. They have.
Yeah.
I'm not writing Rangers off. If there's a great chance that Rangers could come back and get it. However, there's so many. I wouldn't write off them. I would say there's a great chance that Rangers could do it. However, it wouldn't surprise me if they're knocked out now, because I think we'll probably the defence until it's settled. If it months to settle it, we've not settled it. I think we could lose a goal Tuesday night quite easily, and it could be a silly goal again. That's my worry. We can't score the goals, for sure.
Didn't seem to create much. Roddy Fraser making the point, didn't really, after 6 minutes, we didn't
100%.
tend to create much. We didn't look like scoring at all. Linda Forsyth, obviously not the Gers we want to watch. Agreed.
100%.
And Stephen's staying last season we won down in some games, yeah. But we just need to get confidence. Now there's a comment come in.
I think that's Davy Crawford. He would mention something earlier on. I think
Okay.
I can't really disagree with a lot of what he's saying.
So he is saying the managers cost us the
straight to the
league,
point.
cost us the Europa League final because he hasn't a clue. But the other side of that coin, you could say, well, if the manager lost us the final, he got us to the final.
I understand. I know there's two sides to every coin. However, he is right with some of the displays last year. Celtic Park away, the first time we played there, unbelievable. The first 20 minutes, how naive we were. Last night, why were we so naive? Why were we with 20 minutes to go? Why were we still sitting back, happy? I think he would have been happy with a 1-0 defeat last night. That's a concern for me. It wasn't a penalty, but you know what? They got a penalty. See if you're going to defend so deeply and you're boxing European, especially the Champions League. Okay, it's only the early stages of qualifying, but the teams are quality. If you're going to sit back and defend and you've got a dodgy defence like Rangers, you're asking for trouble.
Yep.
You really are.
Somebody else is asking, maybe the same person, did we underestimate our opponents last night? I would say yes and no to that. I don't think we underestimated them, but we could give them a lot of respect, but I just don't. I think they were just shell shocked.
Well, Rangers are very close in with Thomas Buffel, and Thomas Buffel warned them that they are a good team. Rangers have got scouts and they've got plenty of people involved with football. They should know how good a team they were. That said, it's nothing to do with their quality. I think it was us. I think we just weren't good enough.
Yeah. Callum Mercer, hi Callum, how you doing? Not taking away we were utter garbage, but the penalty could very well be nailing the coffin. 1-0 down is manageable, but 2-0 is going to be solid, as in tough. Yeah, it's and Ian Sinclair, hi Sinky, how you doing? Just confirmed that we have never overturned a 2-goal deficit in Europe. So as you said, Si, if ever there's a time to do it, we need to do it on Tuesday, because we cannot, perhaps, I don't know if you've seen the draw, but it was confirmed that we're going to play the winners of PSV or Monaco if we get through. However,
that performance last night, we would get.
That would have been a 5-0 against a team like Monaco.
Yeah, so we need to get our finger out quite quickly. The other thing that really annoys me there's one thing that really annoys me with Rangers in the last couple of months has been the Rangers board, the way they treat the fans. It's an absolute disgrace. Remember, we fought to get these people in. These people assured us when they got in that they would look after the fans and look after the club's best interest. Now, what's going to happen next Tuesday? They're going to send different people out to say that the fans could maybe win this for us. The fans will be the 12th man. We need the fans. This is the same fans that didn't want to be at the European final. They gave the players' wives and hairdressers and all the staff tickets. Guys that have followed Rangers their whole life. They didn't want to be at the final. They didn't want them to have a beam back because they didn't have any respect for the supporters. But see, when they need them, they'll be back asking, we need the fans to be the 12th man. The Rangers board, they baffle me at times, honestly. And before I forget, the managers, that announcement, I've never been a fan of managers, but to say that if you get a season ticket for the ladies team and you get more points for European games and things like that, managers, it's an utter disgrace.
So Gagey John Gagey looked like a team that was coming to the end of the season rather than a team excited and confident that they're competing for winning. It's a good way to sum it up, actually. Yeah. Roddy's making the point, depends what team turns up. Yeah, who knows? I reckon that he's meant Davis rather than Davids. It's probably just been a typo. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Mark Atkins, what I think his under football season, given lost 4 games against Celtic last.
I think it was what has changed.
Okay, so what has changed for the new season? I think these boys we brought in from Matondo and Talman and Kola, I think they're decent players. and I think they will do well. But I don't know if Gio is not, probably scared's the wrong word, but if he's too worried about losing a goal to a Belgian team that were only in the first division last season, first time in years, then
that's a concern right away.
Going to Celtic Park and expressing ourselves in the game is not something that I've got confidence that he'll do right now.
Yeah, well, so you're asking what changed for last season. Well, a couple of things you need to remember right away. You've lost Bassey and you've lost Aribo, two absolutely quality players. If you're going to lose quality, you need to get like for like. You need to bring quality in. Have we done that? I'm not 100% sure we have yet. The boy Montando, he looked great pre-season. Last night he looked lost. I hate saying that. He looked completely lost. A lot of people say to me, they don't. I've had comments asking me why I would want Sakala to play last night. Sakala would have hit the ground. He'd have hit the ground running. He'd have went for them. Stephen Wright came on. I'm not a big fan of Wright, but when Wright came on, he got the ball and he went to goal right away. Yeah. That's what we lacked the whole game. We just looked so ineffective, and there were so many players that were at fault. The formation didn't suit the team, and there's players on the bench that could have came on. The defence is a major worry. I keep saying it. That defence last year worried me. Goldson, I was really surprised that he got another contract. Never mind, asked for it. He was saying he wasn't sure if he was going to want one. I was surprised that Rangers gave him it with the amount of mistakes he's made. And last night again, I'm looking and I'm thinking to myself, now at early doors, because it was Ben Davis was only on 10 minutes, I thought Ben Davis looked a wee bit better than what we had on, and maybe he'll come in and settle the defence, and maybe Ridvan they call the boy, he'll settle it, and Suter we hopefully can come in and play a lot better than they did at weekend. But right now that defence is nowhere near up to standard. Sinky's right. Why did we get rid of Liam Balogun? I've no idea. I really don't know why we've weakened the defence that we have to strengthen.
He was obviously thinking that we've got enough strength and depth there, which, all based on last night, we clearly don't. We other people's making the point or asking or saying he doesn't know why we played three defensive midfielders, Jack, Lundstrom and Kamara. Yeah, we needed somebody in there that could create chances. Somebody in there that could, something different, and it was just the way he set it up. We should have brought off Kamara and put on Arfield for at least the second half. However,
just so many baffling decisions, there really was.
Yeah.
Why did we let Katic go? I don't know. There seems to be a few players he's not keen on, and to me, Katic would be in the defence every week. I don't know why he even went on loan, but I don't get that one at all.
So Gary Moorhead's changed the subject a little bit. Okay, so who's going to be your outstanding player for this season?
It's early doors. We don't want to start scaremongering. No, it's only one game, so I don't want to be down the road of who's going to be the outstanding player. The boy Tallyman, is it to pronounce it?
Yeah.
Again, looked great in pre-season. Came onto this game in the first 5 minutes, looked great, and then just completely disappeared. He's definitely got a future, that boy. He played with Bayern Munich, and he's ranked as one of the best young European players of last year. Who's going to be Alfredo Morelos is our best player if he gets back to fitness. He will be our outstanding player.
I think the kind of old guy for last season, Ken Morelos. I think that Talman will come on, and I think he will be a good player. You don't play for Bayern Munich as a youngster and then play some games for being poor. You don't.
But make no mistake as well. See what I'm saying about Morelos. If the rumours are true that he's not signed the contract yet, we don't know if he has, and Rangers get knocked out of the Champions League, that might change his view as well with things. Rangers need to win this game next week. It's a massive, massive game.
Graham Welsh is saying bring back McGregor and goal next week. I don't.
That'll depend what happens on Saturday, obviously, but
yeah.
I'm starting, mate. I'm not confused. I don't want to get down the road of the goalkeeper. I think the whole defensive set up, the way they were set out, there was far too many defenders, not enough midfielders. The midfielder that we did play wasn't strong enough. They seen right through it. Their manager realised after 10 minutes they've got a real good chance here, and they went for it.
Yep. So someone's asking why spend £9 million on two players and leave them on the bench. What's right to the team? Yeah, I agree. However, the only thing with that is he might not have thought they were cohesive as a unit yet, or he could walk straight into the team, because you do need time to familiarise yourself with each other. But I do agree. I'm sure Simon agrees with the Kamara comment as well. Kamara didn't. I don't think he played terribly against Livingston. He didn't have a great game against Livingston, and Arfield came out and changed the game. So I don't know what Arfield has to do to get a start or come back on.
Kamara's obviously one of his kind of favourites. I think he's got favourites. And that is a concern, because Kamara has got the ability to be a great player. We've seen it, but the last few months he's no. Last season, even there was a lot of games last season he didn't convince me.
We need to score early next Tuesday to have a chance to turn the tie around. That's the other people saying that. Cliche, but
this might be the first time ever that we benefit from the way for goals no counting. But I'll be honest, it's a massive task. I really fear for Rangers next week, and it's all down to attitude and team selection, tactics. The manager's got to get the basics right if he wants the players to get the basics right.
Well, here's a question for you guys out there, and for you as well, Si. Are they any better than Red Star Belgrade?
I'd say no.
And we can beat them 3-0, so
yeah.
You know, we can do it. Linda's saying the team of last season has to gel. Yep, absolutely. If the women's team takes the top off after scoring a buy a season ticket, that's probably a comment on well done England winning the European Championships.
Yep.
Some people might not like me saying that, but I always like to see home nations do well.
I don't know like women's football that much, but I must say it was.
But there was, but I think Stephen may have seen that. That's why he's saying that. Okay, so if you haven't seen it, you can check it out.
Brian Newell's right. Catix needs a chance. There's too many good players not getting a chance, and there's too many people making the same mistake every week.
Yep. So Adam Hutchinson, that's the first time they have won a European game since 1962. I wasn't aware of that, but that's great information, if correct. Thank you. They are desperate to go to the next round. I think we are desperate to go to the next round as well.
Yeah.
12-man next week to Rockland, the biggest stadium in Belgium's Club Bridge with 32k. So they don't look like a team that might panic with the stadium size. However, I think you're right. I think the fans can make a difference next week.
They probably can do.
I'm still reasonably confident in going through.
See this relying on the fans all the time, every time we're in trouble. That's not a good sign. The fans, they're the first ones at the club. I know we shouldn't swear now, but I can't help with saying this. The board shitting the fans on a regular basis, and then they rely on them when they need them at every time. When they were down at the bottom of the 4th division, the fans brought us back up.
Yep.
It's always the fans they rely to, but when the fans need anything back, a bit of loyalty. Look at the treatment of the supporters clubs and things like that. It's ridiculous.
Brian and Sinky making the point about possibly bringing back Balogun. We'd like to see him, but a manager wouldn't do that. It would be probably too embarrassing to.
Still a free agent, so there is I suppose I get what Sinky's saying. Maybe they
absolutely,
could do it. Asking me right now, I wouldn't be saying no to him because I'd put him right in that team. See, the thing is, Tav never had the space he normally gets. Tav and Borna Barisic, I don't know if they were told not to. It seems to be when they were playing under Gerrard, they were wing backs who were bombing forward and trying to get crosses in at all times. Now we don't seem to be doing that. So if that's the case, it's not a 3 at the back, it's a 5 at the back. That's far too many defenders for that game, and it nullifies our threat going forward. Was Tav told not to go forward? I don't know. But it does look it.
There's definitely been instances where I've seen Gio say to get back, so I do believe that he's been told not to go forward at all. But then against Livingston on Saturday, he was very, very far forward through almost the whole game. So they probably just change it around for different games. But you know, the players have to have consistency in their tactics.
100%, aye, and they need to. I mean, changing their tactics for a team like that, to me, is giving it far too much respect.
Yeah, it's basically saying that we're afraid of them.
Aye, I would say that. Aye.
Marion, good to have you back connected, and I think Kent might be back for next week. Yeah, a couple of people coming to saying about John McLaughlin. See if it wasn't for him, we would have lost 4 or 5. I think we could easily have lost by 4 or 5 last night, to be perfectly honest. McGregor, so Roddy Fraser, McGregor, more vocal shouts at the face. He is McGregor. As one thing about McGregor is he's very, very vocal.
I'll say that. Aye. Rab's got a really good point there.
Yeah.
I'm picking.
Yeah.
Lads, Gio has to stop thinking FFS. Best team at all times. We're far better than that.
Last night
we were we beat them at Ibrox. I hope so, Rab. But I agree with you. We need to get a set team. We need to settle the team. And he said, and that was why I got upset with the Spurs game. People saying it's only a friendly. Who cares if we get beat? I care. I care if Rangers get beat. Their pre-season friendlies were designed, in my opinion, or they should have been designed to get Rangers ready for this game on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
We were not ready. Our defence wasn't ready. Our new players weren't ready. That's not good enough. What's the point in having pre-season and what's the point in having friendlies if you don't use them for what they're designed for?
Yep. So somebody's asking about giving Morelos spot.
The answer to that is he fit. See if he's not fit enough to play, don't play him. As much as he's my favourite Rangers player, don't play him if he's not fit. We can't start the panic and playing injured players. We need Morelos back for full fitness for this season. Yeah. If he's fit, of course, get him 45 minutes, and that would maybe give him a wee bit of a fright on Tuesday night.
And if he's not fit and we're bringing him back too early, you run the risk of him aggravating the injury.
Of course.
And he's out for longer, so it'd be great to see him. But I think that if we've got a home game, obviously we will talk about that game shortly, but we have got a game against Kilmarnock at home. We should be able to, score 2 or 3 goals against that. So it could be a good game for our newer players to get a little bit of confidence.
Right now, we just want the 3 points, to be honest with you, with that game. However, we just want to try and get on a winning run. The fact that it was a way that and the manner that Rangers get beat. It's not only getting beat. There's no, Rangers supporters will accept defeat, but when you get beat like that, that was a great support Rangers took through.
Yeah.
People, and it was a lot of money to get to Belgium, and with the current situation, it's hard to travel in Europe. That they don't deserve that. The away fans don't deserve to watch a team sitting back for 90 minutes.
Yeah. Mark Aitken's saying about the 3 home games coming up. Yeah, we have got 3 home games. The 6th, 13th, 27th against, I believe it's Kilmarnock, St Johnstone and Ross County. The 3 games. So Mark, you said try to get the points for that. If we don't get 9 points for that, then as far as I'm concerned, the league will be over. If you can't beat the bread and butter, if you can't win your home games against Ross County, St Johnstone's,
you need to go for the flying start.
Yeah. Adam Hutchinson, I didn't know this, maybe, I'm sure Si as well.
I've read a few comments about this, but I don't know as a fact.
What is in the ruling then? Because you said...
Well, do you know the penalty the penalty VAR decision last night was a new ruling from last season, and also VAR wasn't working for the first half, even though we were shocking.
Yeah.
So what happens there? Why was it not working? How do we know that? Has it been announced or something?
Yeah, and what is the new ruling for the last season? So that'd be interesting to know. So, Roger Traitors making the point. They weren't even playing at home. They had to move it.
That's no that. I know it makes it. I know it makes it worse.
Maybe Europa League is our level at the moment. Need to concentrate in domestic league and get into Champions League automatically. We do.
I don't agree with that. But I talk about Rangers. We need to be thinking higher all the time, and we need to push in our boundaries, and we need to try and get better. That's the whole ethos of Rangers. To begin back the way, isn't it right? The bottom line is we're in the opportunity to qualify for the Champions League. That should be our target.
Balogun was seen playing 5-a-side down at the pits. I feel talking about the pits and Paisley. I used to play there, so hopefully I'll see him. Tom Jagowski, hi to you as well. Aidan Gents and Mark Officer as well. Hi to see you. Taff thinks he's guaranteed a shot play. Draughton could cross Bud's bar where he's posed right back, giving some minutes. I think that Tavernier is the captain, so as Rangers captain, you probably are entitled to think you're expected to start every game. And I think it was the same with Kent last season as well, but there has to be competition, so yeah, why not give the Polish boy some time?
See if Tav's been told to change his game and sit back and defend and no attacking the wing backs, you can't really blame him for not being the same player that he is, because he's an attacking full back that scores. He was a big highest goal scorer last season.
Yeah.
Why would you want to curtail that? That doesn't make sense to me.
Gallant Pioneer thinks we'll put a good 4 or 5 past this well, we may well score 3 or 4, but the way things are going, we might lose 2 or 3 as well. Robert Binney, we were very negative last night, and right from the get-go, we were very negative, and Stephen McGregor's agreeing with that, saying we're just too passive, and we slowed the game down. We played best with movement and quick passing, and the guys we brought in, like the 2 wingers last night, they've got pace, they can move. But again, we just need to get some game time together. But I'm still confident.
We need to move on anyway. These Spurs games, Jock Wallace also said Rangers don't play friendlies. It's a challenge match. I agree, but my hero Jock Wallace. I just think when you need to be in a habit of winning, you need to be, and the more you're winning, you get that mentality going again. When you start accepting defeat, it was Tottenham. Did you expect to win? Or I expected to win?
Yeah. If we can get the tie level before half time, then I'm confident we can get through the playoffs.
That's so I've but said we need to. First of all, we need to be ready from the start on Tuesday night. We need to be prepared. We can't lose a goal. The way for him goals no taking place now suits us. But Rangers need to be on top form. We need to be sharp. We can't be sitting back. We need to go for the high press at all times, and we need to be putting pressure on their goalkeeper and their defence.
An unfit Morelos is better than Kolak.
It's early doors with Kolak. I don't like to be too critical of him now. I think we'll see when he gets maybe a bit better service. However, it is a bit concerning because I was expecting a lot more from him.
I think Kolak actually had a decent first game against Livingston, especially in the second half. He was causing problems, and his goal wasn't offside. So the goal was disallowed even though it was onside. So
we need to give him a bit of time.
Yeah, I don't think we can't panic just yet, but there is signs of concern for sure. Yeah, Rob Morrison saying we might get a cameo from Morelos at the weekend.
Can we go back to our traditional home top as well? Back to Gallant Pioneer, back to what I'm saying about the board. and the marketing department and all these people, they've got no concern for the fans. All they're wanting is more money. Put Rangers out in this away, this third top or the away top or the purple top. Put them out in anything that's going to make money, get the money off the fans that they've got no respect for. It's always the same thing. A wee rant, because my brother mentioned it the other day, so in case I forget about it, my brother Scott mentioned it. See when the Rangers bus had been pulled over and there was a video and the guys were having a laugh and a joke, making their eyes look like Chinese people as a bit of banter. The Celtic PR team that day came out and condemned it. The Celtic board condemned it and they put their manager out and they demanded that action was taken. There was a video circulating now about 3 Rangers legends. It's a disgusting video. I believe it's Celtic fans, somebody saying Hibs fans. However, Rangers board haven't even made a peep about it. They've not spoken about it. Or PR that doesn't exist hasn't spoken about it. The things that the Rangers do, sometimes they baffle me. We've got such a great support. We've got so many great things going for us. Leadership, it worries me because they've got no concern whatsoever for the good name of Rangers at times. All it seems to be is bring shirts out all the time. Rangers should be wearing blue every time they can wear blue. That's the colours that we wear.
Yeah, just any time there's anything that's significant to happen, it's so let's get a top together and charge £70 for it. It's not even that, it's the prices as well, especially with, you know...
It's hard times, you know,
it's hard
and they're
times
bringing out
now.
tracksuits and tops. We were in Blackpool, a guy was asking us how many tops Rangers have got. Truth be told, I didn't know the answer.
Aye, it's quite a lot. So some of the stuff is quite nice, don't get me wrong, but I think there has to be remembered that these fans are making season ticket holders. You know, even people paying for Sky and BT etc. as well to watch the games, they're contributing as well.
People
times are hard, and the board should remember.
They're going to the well far too many times. What I would say, guys, just my opinion on this is, if anybody's in a supporters club, I would urge you to join the Rangers Supporters Association. The Club 1872, or whatever they're called, they're never going to do anything positive for Rangers supporters. But the association gives the buses, who's the bread and butter of the Rangers away support. I would urge all the buses to join the Rangers Supporters Association and get a voice like they had nowadays with the Rangers Trust, and come as one with that. I will try and get a wee show in a couple of weeks to get some of the guys on, but I know the association has got a lot bigger in the last couple of months.
Good, okay, so Rab's saying 3 games in a row to get it right, yeah. Graham, he wants the ball to do something, we just kind of covered that a lot there. So where the people saying VAR will now have a censor in the match ball.
To relay information back to the VAR officials as well, that's interesting.
Okay. William Hams is saying hat your side, then 3-0 on Tuesday, let's hope so.
So.
I think we'll batter them next week, I really do. I don't think we'll batter them.
Aye, Mark, we'll be back on the Wednesday because the game's on a Tuesday night again, unfortunately.
Yep. So, yeah, absolutely. On that note, we are looking to, in fact, it's a good comment there, because we are looking to do some more stuff. We'll tell the guys about the Spotify. So guys, if you scroll to the very, very top of our Facebook stuff tonight, I will post it again. Yep. We have done a new thing at Gers TV. We have created a Spotify channel, which is located in this link here.
Let me try something. I'm going to show you something. I'll be able to put the Spotify thing
up.
If
you guys are looking for a podcast to listen to, the Gers TV have teamed up with historian David Herd, and we have put together a fantastic series on the history of Rangers. Especially...
Here's the videos that have been made now. We're going all high tech now.
Aye, high tech now. So that's the Gers TV Spotify channel. Hopefully you can see that, guys, okay? So
no, they don't see it. They're just going to get it out. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
So start for the first show is the Strikers.
Okay, so what we've done is we have done kind of like with David Herd, a fantastic historian, puts me to shame with his knowledge. Like, you know, Dave, if you are listening and watching, we will get you back on the show to talk about it yourself as well.
He's watching the grandkids tonight.
Right. Okay. So it's a 6-part series at the moment. And we just chart the the history of the last 150 years. So part 1 is the Strikers episode, famous Strikers from like 1872 to about the First, Second World War. Part 2 is we have been the most successful club in the League Cup. So David talks about all the League Cup finals. Part 3 is a kind of tribute to Andy Gorham, the legendary goalie. And we talk about the famous Rangers goalkeepers of the past. Part 4 is a little bit different, a little bit sad, because we went 25 years without winning the Scottish Cup.
Yeah, they called that the Scottish Cup Hoodoo.
Yep. So Wonderful Wingers is part 5, so that's all the glorious wingers. And part 6 was something we put together for the Spurs game, was a kind of tribute to the legendary Walter Tull
If you listen to that episode, guys, part 6 Walter Tull, you'll find out stuff that make him an absolutely fantastic guy. So please check that out, the link's up there, and if you go onto Spotify and just literally type the Gers TV, you'll see it on there, so please have a listen. A few hundred people have listened to it and watched it already, and got some great feedback, so please make sure you watch that, it is fascinating, and we will be putting more content on Spotify every week as well.
Guys, we will open the phone line up for about 20 minutes, half an hour, because there's a lot going on tonight. I'm sorry, I forgot to say Sandra didn't make it right because we changed the day from Tuesday to Wednesday. Sandra had commitments, so she'll be back next week. Well, she might not make next Wednesday, but she's going to try. But we'll be back with the team of 3 next week again, if you're wondering.
Yep.
Let's open the calls up.
Yep, so we want to call in, guys.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We've got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. The Gers TV. Hit it.
That's us.
If
Back
you want to
again.
call in, guys, the numbers should be on screen for you.
I'm going to put a number up my note.
Okay, that is 0141 319 5230. It'll be up there.
There you
shortly,
go.
Okay, so if you want to call in,
The Lord said, "Let there be light," and there was no light. Aye, there it is. There.
okay, so let us know your thoughts on our signings. Let us know your thoughts on the game last night, and let us know your thoughts on the game against Kilmarnock on Saturday as well. So
I'm going to put this down a bit so you can see the number because we've changed the backdrop a wee bit for people. Let's see how that goes. Now you can see it there a wee bit better. We're still working on new graphics and that for people. So if anybody wants to phone in, you know the number, guys. Give us a phone. We need to know the last 3 digits so we know who you are. Quick one, guys. We're not drinking tonight because I'm on a wee bit of a health kick. I need to lose weight. Getting too fat. So I've been on a diet for a couple of weeks. I'm off a bevy. So I'm just going to toast the Queen with my green tea, which is orange flavoured and it's orange in it. So don't worry about that.
Her Majesty.
God save the Queen. MD wants to give us a wee call. Please do so just now.
So a couple of comments actually about the podcast. Cal said it's brilliant. Thanks very much, Cal. It was fantastic putting together. The stuff I've learned is unbelievable.
I
And
listened to the Wingers one, Gordon, in the car with my brother Mark. I thought it was real. I'm not just saying it because we at Gers TV have put it together. I've got no input in this whatsoever, so I can't take any credit. Listening to the stories about guys like Sandy Archibald, an absolute Rangers great that people hardly know anything about. Sandy You're a Dandy was a song from. Alan Morton.
Kinda has a different connotation these days, but
Yeah, aye, with these aye. But it's telling you the facts, the story, the mythology behind them, and it's really, really interesting listening because I think sometimes when I hear the name podcast, historical things, I think this is going to be boring, and I'll be honest, I'm not really one for listening to them. So we've set them for half an hour because that's an average time for being on a bus and commuting. They're fantastic, guys. Give them a wee listen. Rab will tell you now. Pickens, you just seen to be listening. They really are fantastic, and they're well worth. Because we're going to do a competition on it in a couple of weeks. I might say that we'll get David on and question people, see who's actually been listening.
yeah. And guys, just on that note, we are looking to do some more stuff, more podcasts on Spotify. Obviously, keep the live show. It's brilliant. But we are looking to put some more stuff on Spotify. So if anyone's out there wants to contribute, get in touch with the show and let us know, because it's not all about Sandra, myself, Si. It's all about you guys. So let us know.
100%. We're on. We have a monthly competition as well. I'm going to put the video up at the end of the show. The competition is to win the Football Art Club picture. There's going to be one every month they're giving us, and it's a picture of Rangers being in the Europa Cup final. It's a great picture, and to win that, all you need to do is be a Patreon member. And if you're a Patreon member, it costs the minimum fee on it's less than a cup of coffee once a month. But we'll put the link up for that as well, guys. Loads of people joined in the last few weeks with that, which was fantastic, and it helps us. Ideally, what we're trying to do is we've got a lot of goals. I'm not going to bore you, we get into them now, but on the page it tells you our goals and targets for the next 6 months. But what I would say is, if you're not watching Gers TV, watch some form of Rangers media and stay away from mainstream media, because over the years they've not been Rangers friendly. We're trying to put a better media out there for the fans that speaks on behalf of the fans, with the fans.
Absolutely. And as I say, we put a comment up on that Patreon's page. It is literally for the price of your coffee a month. You can help the Gers TV grow. You can help us create more content. You can help us, recruit new helpers, and we can spend more time on it. Just it's getting bigger and better in the last 12 months. It's gone absolutely crazy, but we want to take it to another level on top of that as well. So
Yeah.
guys, for £2 or £3 a month, if you're a Rangers fan out there, you've got a couple of quid to spend a month, please join us in the Patreon site, because we really want your help to help us to keep going.
There was two other things I was going to mention, Gordon. I meant to speak to you about them tonight. If anybody is watching, maybe a student or anybody that fancies doing a match report every week for us, that'd be great. You get credited for it. I'm looking for somebody that fancies doing a match report. I don't do match reports and stuff like that. Too busy watching other things. The other thing, if anybody watches the women's team, if anybody wants to do a weekly or a monthly show, or gives details on it, or an update, or anything at all, photographs for the ladies team, that would be appreciated as well. We're just trying to get as many avenues as possible.
Yep.
With Rangers.
Absolutely. On top of that as well, I don't know if you want to say this, Si, or not,
Yeah.
but if anyone out there is any good with computers, or could maybe help us get a website together, help us publish that, or maybe get on board with helping us actually run it and maintain it, then please get in touch with the show, because we want more people to help, but we want to reach more people as well.
We're also going to be working on a project. I'll give you more details on it next week, because I've only met the people last week regarding it, but we're looking to do something that will be a really good tribute to Rangers' 150th anniversary, the anniversary that Rangers seem to have forgotten about. However, the Gers TV, we've done a few events for it already, and we've maintained that we will be doing as much as we can to mark the 150th anniversary of the greatest football team in the world.
Yep. So that's enough about us. Please give us a call to discuss anything you'd like to do with Rangers, particularly last night's game, or even the game against Livingston, the game coming up. Back to your comments. Mark Aitken is asking what you make at the cost of meal deal, £7.50. I think Rangers Club could do more than that. I think when you go to the stadium, and I remember being younger, a few years ago now, and you used to get a pie and a Coke, whatever, for like £2 or whatever, £1.50, whatever it was. And now it's like the best part of £6 for a Coke's not even Coke, and a pie that's just thrown together. I think match day food hospitality could be much better for us, and I think we could make more money out of it. So yeah, I think there's avenues for it to be explored on there. Did we not sign a new catering deal?
Actually, I'm not wanting to rant about it. I think we'll get a big innings to worry about doing it in the park, but I'll just give you a quick rant. I was in the main stand, Spurs game, was it? No, the West Ham game, and I was speaking to the wee girl who was working in the kiosk because we were going dead slow, and I went, "What training did you get?" And she went, "We get a Zoom call." That's when you realise how naive some of the things going at Ibrox are. They did a Zoom call to show them how to work the tills and working, so that's how it's so slow. But listen, they'll just start to do it. Send them in your ideas and they might listen to you. I very much doubt the Rangers board will, but they might. That's it.
We'll see.
Guys, who wants to give us a wee call? It's the first call of this new season, if you want to call it. The phone number is 0141 319 5230.
Yeah, please do. Looking ahead to the weekend, we've got our first home game in the new season. First competitive home game in the new season. We're playing Kilmarnock. So, guys, over to you for the last wee bit. Who would you like to see starting in that game? Or more importantly, who would you like to see not starting in that game after last night's performance?
I'm hoping, my opinion, before anybody puts a comment in, is Lowry is fit. Young boy Lowry, if he gets fit, we need to be using him as a base for our midfield this season. We need young players that know who. I've heard them I've been to a few press conferences and heard the boy speaking. He knows exactly what it means to be a Rangers player. He's got no intention of being anywhere else. He loves the club, and he's got the ability. He's a box-to-box midfielder. I would be getting that boy in the team as quick as possible and basing the team around him.
Yeah, I think that you would like to think that we'll score a few goals against Kilmarnock, but we always seem to have problems under Gerrard, and it's continued for the most part, especially the first half of Saturday, about beating teams that sit behind the ball. It is difficult. It's not easy to create chance for 90 minutes. However, we were struggling under Gerrard sometimes. That's why we've done so well in Europe over the last couple of years, because there's more space in these games.
Well, I think that was what I was thinking at the start of the season, was that's why he's trying to change the way we play to give us better options against 10 men behind the ball. And I think the boy Montando will be suited to that. Also, the boy Lawrence looks as if he's no scared to shoot outside the box. We constantly try and walk the ball in. That's a big bear bug of mine. This boy looks like he'll shoot. I seen him last week. He's done a few shots that went off target and people criticised him, and I thought, no, good on you. Get a bit of confidence, and if you can get him on target, if you get one, you might get a few. We need to change we need to get a better way of breaking down these teams, because we need to we lost so many silly games last season, and maybe threw them away, literally threw them away.
Yeah, I remember a couple of games spring to mind. Ross County away from home in January, where
Yeah.
you know, last minute goal. I believe that we did the same against St Mirren in the League Cup in Paisley.
Yeah.
One of the games as well.
So I mean, you have to look at the facts that we need to. We're trying to change the way that they're playing. There's been a lot of mistakes in the past, but the manager's got to get this running. But there's people saying in 1 minute, in one breath, they're saying change the team, and other people are saying we need to keep the team consistent and no change them. I'm a bit of both camps here. We need to get the team right, and then we need to kind of leave it. But I don't think he knows what his best team is yet. That's my biggest worry.
And we've only got 6 days to get it right. First and foremost, we need to take care of the 3 points on Saturday, get the result in our bag, get a bit of confidence, and then we need to, you know, I think they should be trading Sunday, Monday, and then it's just difficult because, you know, we've shot ourselves in the foot with that European game, and it's not a great start to the season.
Yeah. Again, if the matches are quite close, 0141 319. I've got the worst memory in the world. 319 5230.
Okay, you've only done this for your side, you should know.
I know.
So, who would you like to see? What's your predictions for Saturday? Will we get back on winning ways? Will we get the 3 points on Saturday? Please let us know your predictions.
I'll do a prediction. I see Rangers on Saturday will win 2-1. That's my prediction, 2-1. And I fancy Kolak to get on the score sheet.
I'm going to go 2-0 Rangers because I don't think we'll score 4 or 5, but I think they'll come. I think Kilmarnock will come and sit back, and we should get a couple of goals.
Fair enough. Aye, good point. Predictions, predictions, guys. Send your predictions in. There's a few people. It's the same guys commenting about the food.
Yes.
It's just there's no much we can do about it. If we don't have any input on the food whatsoever, there's no much I can comment on it.
We'd love to. I've been watching a lot of Gordon Ramsay's shows.
If they wanted to make me a connoisseur like free food and be a food critic,
food critic, yeah.
I wouldn't mind, but I've not got any say on it whatsoever.
So Ian Campbell wants Kentruth and Morelos to start on Saturday. And
are any of them fit? That's a bit of concern.
A good point by Harold saying, why did he give Arfield and Davis a new contract if he's not going to play them?
Agree with you 100%. Crazy, absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and Rab making a very good point as well about Lundstrom.
Yeah.
You know, you need to play. You need to play players in their best positions.
Lundstrom was probably our best player last season. Lundstrom or Tavernier, right? And all of a sudden we want to play him in a more defensive role. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes don't fix something if it's not broken. I don't get it. I really don't understand that. It was Rob Pickens that said that. We need to get him back to where he's best. Dominate the midfield. That's my opinion on that.
Ian Sinclair, Sinclair says back despite the increase in revenue and record transfer money in, we haven't replaced what we have lost.
I said that earlier, Ian.
Yeah.
Aye. Well, basically lost 2 fantastic players, and we've been in a European final and won the Scottish Cup. So they've brought money in. The club can't say no brought money in.
Exactly.
Ibrox was packed for every single game. The merchandise, I was at the stadium the day 2 days before the final, and they hadn't bought it, and then the guy said they weren't prepared for it. Big surprise there. Kissed over, weren't prepared. But they made money, and they should have been replacing it with the money. 100%. They should have got like for like.
Right, so we've got a wee call here. So
Callum,
we'll speak to Callum. Callum, mate, how you doing?
I know no bad. I don't know about you, but I was looking forward to actually the football starting back and
I was.
it actually happened when we've started.
Yes.
I know, mate. I know.
You know, we end up probably seeing it. We went to the game on Saturday, Livingston game, and first half was atrocious. Second half was a lot better, but yesterday was just an absolute, you know, from start to finish, atrocious.
But Callum, I'm trying to get my blood pressure down, and I was at the game at Livingston. I was watching the game last night.
I'm the same. Rangers are the reason I lost my head at a young age, I think.
You wonder why you love football so much, but I tell you what, it's been a roller coaster so far, and we're only the first week into the season. So where did it all go wrong last night? What do you think?
See, I've got on to what you were talking about we've not got proper replacements yet. I think the main point I'm kind of coming away with the McLaughlin thing is he is a decent keeper, aye, but see how like your Colossus and your Gorhams, right? And McGregor as well to a certain extent. I've got pals that are Celtic fans, right? And they were shit scared of them. Do you know what I mean? Because they knew, like, Rangers have always had a quality
dominated goal.
Point goals, and I don't know. I don't see him one being as good as that as any of them, and two, just do you know what I mean? Like even McGregor, I know Dave. I've got pals up to last season like that. Gee, that might be for him using. Do you know what I mean? I
still, yeah.
I don't know. I've not got confidence in him. I don't know if that's just me, but I just.
No, I know what you're saying there.
He's at an age where he's not going to get any better.
I think the only difference between McLaughlin and McGregor for me, one of the only differences, I would say McGregor's a better shot stopper. However, McLaughlin comes for crosses, which McGregor just refuses to do, and we lost a few goals like that last season.
I don't like to go down the road of praising Celtic players, but I think we missed the boat with the boy Seacrest at United. I think he's a good goalkeeper, and they've bought him. I thought Rangers should in for him.
We were like him, and we not. What about the rest of the positions last night, Callum, mate? Can you see any hope for us next week?
I'm just hoping that Gio's trying to prove a point, because he's bought players and now he's played a few of them that he's got right. He had boys playing last night that didn't start. I think he's just trying to figure, am I playing these boys? Is he's going to be the first team, or am I going to just revert back to boys I've had in before? I just hope that it's just about him settling into a team that he wants, but obviously it doesn't make up for the fact he's went into that far too defensively. We should have been at their throats since the start.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great point, Callum. You made a great point there. One of the criticisms, or one of the opinions last year was you can't criticise the manager until he gets his own players and his own team. Well, he's got his own players, he's got his own team. It wasn't just the players that beat us last night, the formation and the tactics, and no changing it until 75 minutes or something. Was it 70 minutes? Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, you forget as well, but how many times did Gerrard do that as well?
Aye.
Gerrard was murder for subs at some point. I think it's a man thing. I think it's just like that, right, I'm going to keep going till
stubbornness.
I'm pretty sure.
I was thinking, right, half time we'll get a different. I don't know. We'll just go about it differently. Even bring Arfield or something on, and that's another point I want to make. See, the start of this season, before the season even started, you had people like that. Why is Arfield getting a contract? He's shown why he's got a contract. You know what I mean? He should.
He loves it. He gives it as well.
Maybe not a starter, but Harry Davies should have came on last night at least.
Aye, no, I agree with you 100%. This is going to be Stephen Davis's last season. If they're not going to play him, what's the point in being on the bench? If you're going to play him,
like I know there's a few teams in Northern Ireland that would be taking him in a heartbeat if we didn't want him to. You know what I mean? Because he's still quality.
Yeah, I think there's a few clubs around the world that would take him.
Well, he's still international, isn't he? But I agree with you. It doesn't make sense. I hate criticising the manager and the players and things like that, but there was so many things last night that didn't make sense, and I'm thinking, why not change it? Change it. You've got quality in the bench. Use the quality in the bench. But I think you're right. There's a bit of pride in there saying, I bought these players, this is my team, I'm going to see this out.
Yep. What do you think the score's going to be next Tuesday then, Callum? What gives your prediction?
What did you say? Sorry, I can't hear you that well.
That's okay. What is your prediction for next Tuesday, the return leg?
What am I hoping or what am I thinking?
What are you thinking? Well, both. Give us both.
I'm hoping it goes. We could get it to penalties, and in my heart, I'm thinking it's Europa League for us, which isn't a bad thing, because we'll be laughed at for about we'll be laughed at our Celtic fans until they play the first match. They end up getting put out that, and then they play the Europa and they get put out again. Do you know what I mean? It's one of the things. Just how are we going to compete with teams? And this shouldn't make sense, because last year we done it and we showed that we can compete with teams that have players that are worth about 50 million. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. This team were playing. Do you know what I mean? I'm not putting them down. They were a decent team. They've had a few more games this season than we have, but it's just if we go into a final getting bet, do you know what I mean? That easily, it doesn't make sense. Well, if we did get through, what type of embarrassment would we be looking at?
We could play Monaco or PSV. Monaco with that French Ben Yedder up front, and you know if the Livingston striker could boss our defence on Saturday, then God only knows what that Ben Yedder would do if we get through.
I mean, back to your point, what you made, I agree with 100%. But Scottish teams traditionally, for some reason, are really slow starters in these stages. We've seen the Mankey Mob get knocked out so many times over the last few years. But it all comes back to one thing. We had the title on a plate and we handed it to Celtic. We should have won the league last year and it put us directly into the Champions League. Rangers got to keep the points to get there.
When Gio came in, we were ahead, do you know what I mean? That's the gutter.
Yeah, absolutely. We were, I think we're 7 points ahead or so.
You were seeing a bit of a away record was mint, do you know what I mean? But then, this is the thing, we don't get the replacement for a Rebo, but the point is that I'm making is, we played more games than anyone else, the boys were absolutely shattered, and it was at the point that there was just injuries left, right and centre.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, then that's just going back to the point, do you think the run was getting to that final was worth losing the league?
The thing is, it shouldn't have.
I see your point with that, mate. I do see your point.
I know what you're saying, but it shouldn't be.
Sure.
It shouldn't coincide with each other because you're winning against Ross County. 5 minutes to go. A Rangers team should have good gameplay. They should know how to stop them from playing football. Keep the ball at the end of the park. The game's over. There were so many mistakes. Got to Celtic Park and not expecting him to come out of terms running. That's naive.
See, the thing was, but we were doing better. It shows we do better against teams that attack us. We might go 1-0 down. We bounced back last year. It's just, I don't know if it's the tactics that get changed for games in Scotland because I mean, it's kind of gravy. It's not harder by any means with the levels of play. It's genuinely, it's harder in the way that they've got every man they can behind the ball, or it's plastic pitches and just, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. It's a different playing field.
But back to what you're saying, 70 minutes before we make a change and we've got all the players on the bench, that ultimately is our biggest problem there. A manager was being stubborn and wants to keep. I don't care if he proves me wrong. I love that. I'll be happy. But watching that game, everybody knows it's not worked after half an hour. Change it. Don't be too proud to change it.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
Definitely. The thing is as well, but going back, I heard somebody say, one of the Celtic fans say it on Super Scoreboard earlier on, they were saying, it's a few games into the season or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But that answer at the weekend and what he said in the press conference was, it doesn't matter, do you know what I mean, the season started, it doesn't matter if we're game in, we've started.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He won, he's still trying to get that out of his players.
I agree,
the past two games I've seen, Libby and then yesterday, it was just like, one, there was no passion, and two, it's just we're missing somebody taking chances. I know Kent obviously was injured, but he didn't do anything really Livingston.
Aye, I mean it doesn't help watching a Rebo taking a full team apart and putting the ball in the net.
Yeah.
That's exactly the type of player we're looking for there.
Exactly, from his own half. That's what and then obviously we're missing Calvin Bassey as well.
Yeah.
It's just about if these boys need time to settle in, like Lundstrom did last season. That's why you can't be too quick to jump down like shooters.
No, 100%. I agree.
Think about that cup final. That shows. Do you remember when he came on for the one time he did come on, he ended up their best player that game?
Yeah, I agree.
It's just, you want to win the team, obviously Rangers, and then I don't know, his tactics as well. I don't think he's suited to sort of be the one who's covering Tavernier that he's making these runs.
Yeah. No, some good points, Callum.
Time will tell with Suter, but I think he might prove the critics wrong, and I hope he does.
Certainly hope so.
We need to get the defence sorted. I tell you, if you didn't have a bad heart watching Rangers, you would have now.
Aye.
Exactly. Anyway, mate, I'll let you go. Let somebody.
Great, Callum. Okay, great call again, mate. I'll speak to you soon, mate. Okay.
Thank you, Callum. Cheers, pal.
Aye.
Cheers, mate.
Great points, but all the points that Callum making, I agree with him 100%. But a lot of it's schoolboy stuff that the manager should know.
Yeah, absolutely. So. Will we?
What time is it, Mass?
Just after
Aye,
9.
we've got other stuff on tonight.
Yeah.
It's been great to be back, guys. We've got a couple of comments here. You can read them yourselves. It's just basically general football chat. You can carry the chat on. A wee reminder, we're now on Spotify for the Rangers history.
Please, guys, on Spotify on the homepage, just literally type in the Gers TV. It's our own channel now. We've got some fantastic content on there. We will, of course, add more to it. And we have a Patreon site as well for growing and getting bigger. Please be a part of it and help us at Gers TV achieve our goals for the next new season.
Yeah, before I finish, I'm going to play the competition for the Spotify, and then that'll be us for the night, guys. Thank you very much. Win, lose or draw, never forget we are the people.
We are the people.